This is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today, I want to give you guys the ultimate guide for all you returning players out there that are coming back to the game, and also a beginner's guide for all of you guys who are trying to jump into Destiny and try to figure out what the game is all about, and if it's something you guys are definitely going to enjoy. I want to make this video as concise as I possibly can because there is a lot to talk about. I could go over like almost 3 hours into this video, but I want to keep it as condensed as possible to give you guys extreme knowledge as fast and as quickly as we possibly can. So if all of this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. And let's talk about what you need to know right now if you're trying to get into Destiny or back into. I'm pretty sure if you guys are still watching this video, you guys are new or returning players. So we're going to cover the basics, but we're also going to get into stuff that you need to know if you guys are returning. One of the first things I want to tell you guys, and this is from someone that's played this game since it's been released, even since the alpha stages, if you want to play Destiny or if you want to dive into the Destiny community, you have to understand one thing. You have to be committed for this game. It is not like any other game where you can just play it for half an hour and it's over. There's a commitment involved in the game. So if you're not willing to make that commitment, I would highly suggest you probably find a different game. This game might not be for you, as this game does require for you to be committed on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and on a yearly basis, depending on the content that comes out. Speaking of content, this game is evolving every time, so expect this game to be evolving and progression to be occurring within the game. So it's not like you're going to play the game and you're going to get everything within the game that it has to offer. Everything is time-gated and it evolves as the game progresses. The game is cut down into seasons and expansions. Seasons tend to happen every 3 months. Expansions tend to happen every once a year. So that is something to keep into perspective. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the options you're going to have when you first launch the game. If you decided to commit to the game, the next commitment you're going to want to make is deciding what type of character you want to pick. There are a total of 3 different characters within the game currently right now. From making this video, there is a Warlock, which is kind of like your mage, the one that controls magic and has a lot of power, a lot of healing benefits. You have the Hunter class, which is a more agile character, and it has a little bit more mobility and has a lot of really cool tricks up its sleeve. And the Hunter would probably fall under the Assassin class. And then we have the Titan, which is your main tank, has a lot of really tanky benefits, moves very tanky, and is the one that's able to tank. A very good character in general. Overall, in general, if you're an aggressive player, a passive player, or just someone that just wants to enjoy the game, you'll be able to fall under any of these categories, whichever character you have. Now that you finally decided what character to pick, now it's time to decide what class is going to be your main class that you want to run on your character. Theoretically, you could run all the classes, but you're always probably going to settle with one that's probably your favorite. So you're going to have a total of 4 different class options you're able to select for your character. You have your Stormcaller class, which is your Arc class. You have your Purple, which is your Void class. And you have your Solar class, which is the orange one. And in addition to that, if you are a returning player, then you have a brand new class called the Darkness subclass, which is known as the Stasis class. Now, in addition to these classes, there are different types of trees that each class consists of. For example, if you notice right here, we have 3 different options to select from each individual subclass. So this would theoretically be a subclass of the Arc class. So you have this one right here. You have another one right here, and you have another one. So basically, you have your class, you have your subclasses that allow you to change your character on every dependent on which one you have. So you guys notice right here, if I go to this one, once again, I get to pick 3. If I go to the Void class, I will be given the option to pick 3 as well. And each individual character, whether it be a Titan, Hunter, or Warlock, will have those options. Now, if you want to pick up the Darkness class, you will be able to pick up the Darkness class as well, which gives you a variety of different options that you're able to obtain as well. Now that you understand the classes and you understand the characters, let's talk about the main thing where everything's going to be controlled, and this is known as the hub. This is the main center where everything will make sense, and it's a little bit daunting, a little bit confusing when you first see it, but once you understand it, things become a little bit more easier. So if you guys notice right here, there are a bunch of planets, and yes, guys, all these planets represent something. The ones you want to primarily remember, I'm going to tell you from this particular screen, is going to be extremely important. You want to remember this right here, which is a tower. This is the place where everybody's able to go and collect a lot of stuff. We're going to be going there shortly, but I want to cover exactly the things you want to remember from the screen. So the towers are your main central hub. In addition to that, guys, you're going to have different planets, and each of these planets are going to have subsections in them where you're able to do different sets of activities. We're not going to cover those too much in general, but we are going to be covering a little bit of them further along in the video. So as you see right here, all the planets are divided by names. We have Nexus, Europa, and then we have the Moon, we have the Dreaming City, and all of these places you could go, Cosmodrome, the EDC, these are all locations in different planets. Now, the other thing you want to remember is these 4 little icons right now. I'm pretty sure more of these icons will be added later, but as of right now, there's only 4 different sets of icons. Each of them represent different game modes that you're able to play in the game. Crucible, it's going to be your main PvP section. You're going to be able to play all these game modes that you want. In addition to that, you have your Vanguard, which is a PvE, PvP focused activity, which helps you run strikes and different activities within the game. You also have the Gambit, which is a PvP mode that allows you to play and participate in a mode that you have to collect different items and put them into a machine. And then you have this legend content, which is going to be primarily focused on different raids that are going to be coming back, mostly endgame content from there. But other than that, guys, those are the main things you want to learn from this screen. Now let's go into the tower and talk about the simple things you want to learn to understand the game better and to be a more effective player. All right, so when you land in the tower, guys, it might be a little bit overwhelming. You probably won't know what you're gonna where to go. You're gonna see a lot of icons in the screen, and you're like, "What the heck is going on?" I'm gonna give you guys the basic things you need to know when you move forward to the game, so you can understand it a lot easier. And later on, I'm pretty sure as you play the game more, everything will make a lot of sense. So theoretically, here, guys, there are a total of 4 major characters you need to know and understand. The first main character you need to know about is this guy that's right in front of us with the crown right there. His name is Zavala. Now, the reason why you want to know who he is because in the game, in order for you to level up and progress, we're going to talk about the levels a little bit shortly, is you're going to need to collect things called bounties. Now, these particular bounties are listed right here under the bounty category. Every time you collect one of these guys, it's going to give you the ability to complete them. Once you complete them, your XP and your XP for him in general will also be going up. So he's someone that you're going to be visiting quite often. The next one is right across, guys, and this is Lord Shax. He's the one that's going to be in charge of PvP, which is a Crucible. So basically, anytime you guys want to go ahead and pick up bounties for the Crucible, or you're going to be playing PvP, you want to come at him and pick up the bounties as well. So he is another character you need to know, and it's someone that you might be visiting daily. In addition to that, guys, you're going to want to know of this area right here, which is the vault. This is where you can store weapons that you have within your inventory and access those weapons. The next character you want to know is here, Master Raoul. Anytime you get some sort of engram, right now we have different types of engrams. We have these right here that are purple looking. These are going to only be able to be decrypted by him, so you have to come to him and actually decrypt them. And last but not least, guys, another character you want to know is Banshee, which is the gunsmith. He has some really good stuff, like, for example, bounties. In addition to having bounties, he has stuff, materials that you could purchase that will help you enhance your weapons and also enhance your items and artifacts. So really important to know those 4 characters. Apart from those 4 characters, there is one more character, which is the Gambit one, but I don't want to go ahead and show you guys exactly where he is because he's a little further into the map, because I believe you guys probably won't be diving into Gambit once we get started, but he's a little bit further down. The last one I want to mention is this guy right here known as the Postmaster. The Postmaster is where you're going to be able to find stuff that you picked up in the world, but you weren't able to collect. He will have them right in here, and you could just go ahead and grab them. These are items that you probably killed someone and you had enough stuff in your inventory, and you're like, oh man, I don't know where that went. That's where that's going to be located. Now, let's go ahead and talk about inventory. So in inventory, guys, there are a total of 3 different weapon types we were able to pick from. Now, if you're a returning player, you probably noticed something weird, like how come you have a sword or you have a shotgun right there? There's no longer a thing where you have a primary and secondary and it's tied to a specific archetype of weapon. This time around, you're able to use any weapon in the slot, and the weapons are actually divided in different sections. You have your heavy weapon, your power weapons, you have your energy weapons, and you have your kinetic weapons. Kinetic weapons right now, they made a change recently where these weapons in particular don't need to be reloaded. You have unlimited ammo. These ones right here, which are energy weapons, these weapons in particular all use these, the special ammo, which you guys notice right there, it has a little green icon. When it has that green icon, that means it's a special weapon, and you need to get those green icon ones. You theoretically don't always need green icons, because you guys notice if I go over this other weapon, it says primary. So I'm able to use this gun without the special ammo, but it still falls within the energy category. In addition to that, we have power weapons. This is mostly where you're going to have rocket launchers, sniper rifles, LMGs and stuff like that, and lanyards. The majority of them will require the purple ammo brick, which is called heavy ammo, and these will also all fall under the category of actually needing that specific, ammo type in order to have them in work. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about, of course, is your ghost. The ghost did change a little bit from the Destiny days. Now you guys have different slots, and all these slots are able to be customized to your liking, and you are able to apply mods into them. And these mods are once again being able to be obtained. And I will probably have a next video if you guys want me to talk a little bit more about the mod system and how it works. Let me know in the comment section down below, because it's a little bit more extensive. But almost everything right now in Destiny, if you're a returning player, will allow you to apply mods. And in addition to that, you're able to upgrade the ghost or artifact into your liking. The next thing we have in this column right here, guys, is called the artifact. Now, this is a artifact called the Wayfinder compass. And this is always going to be changing per season. So every new season, every time you buy that season, you're going to be getting a brand new compass. So that is something new that has been added if you are a returning player. Now on to the main attributes here of your character. For your character, guys, now you have the same concept as a ghost. You're able to fully customize it to your liking and apply mods. And you're also able to change if you want it to be a void class, solar class, arc class, depending on what you want to do. And each of these will give you different options to do that. Now, all of this stuff that I mentioned could easily be upgraded. So if you have one that's lower light, it could be upgraded to a higher light, but you're going to have to spend materials, as you guys notice right here. Let me actually give you guys a nice little example. Let's say I want to upgrade this one. Actually, I can't upgrade. Let's say I want to upgrade this one maybe. Do I have a higher item here? No. So if you were to have a higher item, you would probably be able to upgrade it. So let's say for this one, if I wanted to upgrade it, it gives me these two options. And I can easily go ahead and upgrade it, but I have to spend upgrade module items in order to do that. So that is how the system is currently working. There's a total of 5 items. Now, if you're a returning player, you're going to notice that these are still the same thing because you have different categories that you're able to work towards. You have mobility, which maximizes how fast your character moves and jumps. You have resilience, which determines the amount of damage you could possibly take, incoming damage. You have recovery, that means how fast you're able to recover and the cooldown of your abilities. You also have discipline, which is going to determine how fast you actually use your grenades. You also have intellect, which determines how fast you're able to use your super and your abilities. And last but not least, you have strength, which kind of decreases the time of your melee abilities. So all of these stats are going to be obtainable from each of the items that drop. As you guys see here, all the items I'm hovering over tell you how much mobility and how much recovery, resilience, discipline, intellect, and strength you're able to obtain. Now, in addition to that, guys, you're going to be able to put in mods into these items to make them go a little bit higher. And if you are still a returning player, I do want to mention that there are more optionals to customizations within your character. This is where you customize your emblems. You can pick your sparrow, you can pick your ship, and next we have the appearance customization, which is called pretty much your ornament transmog. Here you guys are able to select any of the items and apply default shaders and the default ornaments to each of these classes or these items to make sure they stay default like this every single time that you equip those items. Now, in addition to that, you're able to apply finishers. If you guys are coming back from Destiny, as you may already know, there are finishers now. So when you melee someone or punch someone, you're actually able to apply a finisher to that enemy to kill them a lot quicker. So all of these, if you preview this, you'll notice the way it happens. You see that? You apply that finisher, or you can select the one you want, and that finisher will be taking place. Or you can just select your finishers to be random, and they will be random generated as you go. In addition to that, of course, you have emotes that you can select from, and all of these are able to be obtained through Eververse, which is the kind of in-game currency or, microtransaction section of the game. Now, let's talk about one of the most important things about the game, which is the power. Now, every time the game evolves or every time that there is a new season or a new expansion, this will always change. But currently right now, if you're watching this video, guys, you are going to want to make sure you know exactly where you're at. So right now, when you buy the game, you're going to start at the base gear stage or the base level, which your energy will be 1,100. From there, your goal is to reach the pinnacle gear cap, which we'll talk about what that pinnacle gear cap is. From the 1,100, your next step is to go to the legendary gear cap, which is 1,270. Then from there, you have to go to the high effective gear cap, which is 1,320. This is primarily where the majority of your players are currently right now. And then you have your pinnacle gear cap, which will make it go to 1,330. Now, I have a video that I uploaded on the channel is how to level up fast, which will tell you what are the best options to do or what activities you need to do in order to hit that pinnacle gear cap, which I highly recommend you guys watch. I would cover in this video, but I do not want to stretch this video any longer. So highly recommend you check out the video. Link is down below in the description. Now that you understand the main concept of the game, let's talk about the stuff that you're actually able to do in the game. So like I said in the game, guys, there are multiple options and planets you can visit. You have stuff like strikes. These are strikes that you're able to do that will help you level up. In addition from strikes, there are also public events that you could do, and this will allow you to get gear. In addition to public event, guys, we have a new thing called dungeons, which are extremely awesome, and it's kind of like a 3v3 mini raid that you're able to play within the game. In addition to dungeons, guys, we also have raids that you're able to do, which is the end game content, which are pretty similar to dungeons, but this requires a 6-man fire team. And it's one of the end game possibilities that you want to acquire. Now, if you're more into PvP, then you're going to want to make sure you focus primarily in the PvP aspect of them. There are 3 major modes in this game. You have your standard PvP mode. You have your Iron Banner, which is something that gets brought to almost every month. And you're able to participate in that, which is a 6-man competition. And last but not least, we have the top tier, which is, of course, Trials of Osiris, which should be coming out this week. And this is something that's done in a weekly event every weekend that you could participate in. And there you guys have it. Those are all the activities, all the stuff you can do in Destiny. If you're a returning player or a new player, let me know in the comment section down below. If you are a returning player, let me know when was the last time you actually played Destiny and if this video helped you out at all. If you guys want to see more videos like this where I help new people coming into Destiny and returning players, please let me know in the comment section down below what topic you guys would like me to expand more on: weapon mods, armor mods, the new crafting system that's coming into the game, the new lore. Please let me know all that information in the comment section down below. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Do me a huge favor, guys, drop a comment, must a like, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you guys won't miss when our videos go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.